Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another session of our Werewolf the Wild West Chronicle. I'm the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will. I'll be your storyteller this evening. And last we left off our fantastic pack, who you can't hear, but I can. And they are so giddy with excitement to get back to it. But we opened up explaining the trouble that called Kora away because we didn't have her for the last session. But she was following a lead on a black-haired woman. So we hopped over to Thursday and we found out that the cairn was holding a moot for the new moon, celebrating the Ragabash a little more than usual. They were told to prep their galliard for storytelling since it will be the first time that the cairn has heard about their exploits or will be hearing about their exploits. The events of the trout spirit and the spiders at the cave were also mentioned. We got to hear some of the three humans that they killed added to the story. They also decided to mention their interaction with Calls to Fire, and there was a brief discussion about pocket bacon and whether or not to add that to the story. But we established that by Thursday, they had heard about the bounty hunters in the city as well, and the story of a criminal that has infiltrated the upper echelons of the city is starting to spread as well. They decided to let Ardyce have a practice run at her storytelling, and once they heard the howls of commencement, they rushed over to the cairn. They did reassure Ardyce that the pocket bacon didn't have to be eaten as they were making their way over, and Pepe shared some of his pocket bacon with her. But we arrived to see almost 3 dozen wolves gathered, as well as a dozen or so humans, as kinfolk had turned out for the moot as well. They got to see an amalgam of a falcon and an eagle arrive after having been called to the cairn. They got to see that Charlie was accepted into the cairn following his rite of passage. They got to see that a silent strider is passing through with a message bound for New York. And they got to see the other 2 packs howl their tails before they called up Ardyce, just kind of like to let them see how stories are passed on. Ardyce decided to tell her tale in her Hamid form, and towards the end of it, the 2 boys, Pepe and Walks with Spirits, decided to help out with her finale, and it was very evident to the 2 boys who could see that the elders were unamused by their display. But she could feel that the group's disdain for the display was palpable, but she was bolstered by the act of solidarity. Calls to Fire thanked her for including him in her story, and she gave the Red Talon Ragabash the pocket bacon, which he ended up vomiting by a tree much later. But they had the Master of Challenges come up to them and ask about Kora and why she was missing, since this was a night where she should have been representing the pack. But once the politics were all over and done with, they saw a deer, a stag, and a buffalo brought in for a feast, as well as a small display of trout. Because of what the pack did, Calls to Fire made sure to mention that they had a hand in the bounty of fish that was being offered up. Walks checked in on Charlie, who he found out was still dealing with the harrowing ordeal that he went through, and he learned that his guru name is From the Snow. Charlie explained how they had sent him north into the mountain to fight an ice bear and bring a heart back as a trophy. And they discussed taking some meat back to Kora, as Ardyce kind of was left to her own devices and almost started a fight with some kinfolk that she accidentally stepped on. Walks rushed over to try and help defuse the situation. And right as the kinfolk was about to lash out, the alpha of the cairn in his hispo form snapped his mouth on the back of its neck and flung him like a child's toy. The alpha melted back into his lupus form and warned them to keep their distance. Ardyce was helped back up by Walks with Spirits and Doc, who had come over to check on her. And then noting the responses that they were dealing with, decided to go back into town. They were told that a few people were talking about why their Arun was missing and having been left in charge with the Metis, but rumors are rumors, and wolves tend to gossip more than humans. But they made their way back to the Gilded Apple, and they noticed a couple of people that didn't quite look to fit in as far as the regular townsfolk are concerned. Although there was a male and a female. The male was a shade darker than Pepe. The female was a shade lighter. And they saw that Garrett was talking to them. Pepe sat with Ardyce to kind of mellow her out as Garrett left a shot and a bottle with them. Walks was over at a table. And as Garrett pointed them out and let them know that these were the bounty hunters that people were talking about, they went over to try to introduce themselves. They were shown the wanted poster, which is just an artist's interpretation. And when she revealed that she couldn't see, the new male bounty hunter tried to test her by snapping his fingers in front of her face, which upset Pepe and Walks with Spirits, rightfully so, since this is a pack member. And as they were stepping up to each other, the Nuisha that had warned Pepe in the forest a couple days back saddled up and joined the bounty hunter's side. And we left off with the 3 pack members squared off against the 3 new faces and Kora about to enter. We have a little bit of a reactive change as Pepe has backed off to kind of try to find something in his room to defuse the situation, but it will still be 3 against 3 if you all wish to do something about it. But it is good to see all of you again. Welcome back from break. Let's get some werewolf going.
Oh.
Just like that. Kora, you've been gone for the better part of a week, chasing rumors and information about a black-haired woman. There is this hard to track down as far as information is concerned. Everyone seems to keep calling her the Sombra, the shadow. People only seem to remember the black hair. But for a week, she's eluded you, and as you've come back to kind of get some rest, get cleaned up, and restock your supplies, you see what looks to be a Mexican standoff. And although some of the characters here are south of the border, I am not being racist about it. But there's 3-on-3, 2 males, 1 female, now 2 females and 1 male, as you can see that Garrett is kind of trying to defuse the situation behind the bar.
Excuse me. I don't appreciate that kind of roughhousing in my establishment, unless it's consensual.
The not Nuisha, the darker skinned gentleman you see holds up his hands. I am very sorry. I am used to people lying to me. I just wanted to see if your customer was truly blind or if she was faking.
Oh, you mean that one? The delicate hummingbird that I've taken under my wing.
We are looking for someone who is very good at lying and fitting in, so you please forgive me. And he does reach out and kind of not grab Ardyce's hand, but he does put his fingers in your right hand palm, kind of like asking for permission to take your hand.
She obliges. But you said something, Chewy, in the introduction. The wanted poster that they have looks like me.
It's an artist's interpretation, but it does have features that resemble you.
And what is the name on that? We haven't discovered that yet?
No name.
No name. Okay.
So, I am to assume that you're here for a purpose.
We are looking for someone. We have been tracking them for some time. We did not mean to start anything or create a violent situation. But you can see your hummingbird looks almost identical, and he slides the wanted poster over to you.
And I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see if there's any distinguishing, like, different features.
The eyes are a little farther apart. The mouth is a little wider.
Ardyce kind of like leans over towards like Kora's scent to be like, does it look like me?
Does
I don't
have
see it.
some sort of resemblance, but it doesn't match your magnificent, dear.
What does it say they're wanted for?
And I'm gonna get to that actually as I'm looking down. What does it say?
Murder, theft, robbery, child abuse, and not necrophilia, but definitely something with dealing with the dead.
What does it say, Kora?
This individual, whoever they may be, is a very, very bad person. We're talking some pretty heinous acts here. I doubt you would hurt a child, would you?
Oh no, absolutely not. What kind heinous hurt a child? No. I thought you were saying that they stole from the convenience store, the haberdashery down the road.
There is theft on here too.
Well, I don't. Sometimes things fall in my pocket, and I don't think it's my fault, but I will return them.
We've learned so much in the first 5 minutes.
What does that last one mean?
And Kora just takes a little bit of breath before she leans over to whisper into Walks with Spirit's ear, trying to be nice, because this is a nice establishment.
Correct.
Oh.
It has something to do with corpses. Of the sexual variety, almost. Something.
There's like I only heard the sexual part, and there's like a complete red of Ardyce. Okay. And she just like backs out of the conversation just slightly. It's like 1/2 step.
Oh no end to their taint.
This the little hummingbird would never do any of these things. She goes to church every day and on Wednesdays and Sundays especially. She thinks all of these are sinful, heinous, and in poor taste.
You see the gentleman reach over and grab the wanted poster from you. And he nods. She taps him on the shoulder and whispers something to him in Spanish. And then he tilts his head at the three of you. Is there a place we could talk privately then?
Privately?
I don't
believe
please.
I believe we can arrange something.
Excellent. I don't want to use certain words in front of people.
And you can understand this kind of establishment decorum must be kept in some form or fashion.
He nods. We are of the same mind.
How about this? Me, you, my office. I'll bring the whiskey. Your associate Here with my friends.
Smiles very big at the new people that tried to roughhouse.
If that is the way you would like to talk about it, sure. I trust my friends, my associates with my information.
If that is how it will be, then it's perfectly fine if my associates come with as well.
Of course, this pertains to all of you, I think.
Interesting.
And Garrett just has this look like, is everything okay? Or should I get the sheriff?
Kora kind of is talking with her hands a little bit. I mean, she is Grecian, so there is a bit of an energy and a gusto to how she talks.
Yep.
But there is a subtleness to as she turns to walk towards the office. Or actually, she's more likely to go and help Ardyce up and move her appropriately. But there's like a subtle little hand signal there to say, keep calm, but be ready. That's kind of all that she's gesturing towards Garrett for.
He nods.
At this moment. And yeah, she helps Ardyce up, but as she pulls Ardyce over, she also has a hand on that whip that she has not pulled out.
Understood. But you lead them to your side office, and you see that all three of them just kind of like stand back towards the door. There is the Nuisha that you met earlier has a very Pepe-like atmosphere. Like he doesn't really care about what's going on, but the male and female are really intent. And there's something that doesn't sit right with you in particular. But if everyone could give me a perception and alertness roll for the first roll of the year.
How did you know I was going to ask if I smelled something or, if I got something off of them? You know me too well, storyteller.
It is a werewolf player's prerogative.
Yeah.
Fuck shit.
Die again?
Smelling time, 10 ciders.
10 ciders?
Yep. Ardyce
How
has
many?
a perception of 3 and a alertness of 1, so you're gonna need 4 of them.
Damn. Fuck you.
Yeah. The difficulty number is gonna be 6. There's a bit of it, but not a lot. It should be relatively easy to scent.
Said 4, right?
What?
You said 4.
6 or higher counts as a success.
6 is the yes, but 4 die. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes, 4 dice.
Got it.
I was like, why are you giving me numbers?
Hello?
What is you doing?
What is you doing, baby girl?
Trying to bamboozle me?
Whip my hair back and forth. Whip my hair back and forth.
Oh, that's a fucking shit. No,
No.
I had no successes.
Okay.
Useless.
Did Walks get anything?
2.
2. And Kora?
3.
3. All right.
Ooh.
So Walks and Kora can definitely smell the iron of the blood. There's been some kind of blood on one of them. Kora, with the extra success, can narrow it down to the female.
No,
And there is a little bit of rouge on the corners of her mouth that just looks a little bit more crimson than the rouge she used for her lips.
Oh. My brain starts automatically going to that she might be sick.
Maybe. Might be the consumption.
Mm-hmm.
But as you take them inside the office, they square up at the door. They don't come further in unless you invite them further. But the gentleman steps forward. I apologize for the situation. My name is Germán Alcaldes. I am from Brazil originally. This is my associate Patricia Calles. She is from Mexico. And the gentleman there is Escaminsin, who happens to be more American than anything else. He's Apache. We are in the employ of a señorita Teresa de Valle de la Caridad Ramos from parts unknown in South America. She is a mystery even to us, and we work for her. If you have ever heard of the famous Roaring Ramos Lions, she is the matron of that circus.
Interesting. That's fascinating. You're so far from home.
We have been hunting what we believe to be a gentleman that they call La Sombra, or the Shadow. We think he has a gift for changing appearances, which is why this is one of the most recent posters we have with the image of what someone less saw when it comes to this person.
Interesting. There is a particular individual that I've been hunting down myself. That it's kind of interesting that they have a similar nickname.
Similar. And you see him kind of playing with his tongue against the back of his upper teeth.
All anyone has seen of this individual is dark hair. You caught me coming in from my most recent attempt at trying to catch this person.
He runs his tongue from right to left across his teeth and then back. He nods. You're not lying. I think this is a misunderstanding that has been used against us then. And for that I apologize, especially given that it does not seem like you have strayed from your calling as far as Gaia is concerned.
Interesting. Not everyone can tell us from normal people.
We are not normal people.
So why don't you illuminate us and maybe we can help?
We have had interactions with your kind before, but we will keep what we are to ourselves. But just know that we are Farah.
All right. Can I do an insight check or something on this?
Sure.
I don't believe this for one goddamn minute.
Let's do perception and empathy.
That works. Yep. What's the difficulty, storyteller?
For lying, we'll say it's 5. He's not fibbing too far.
Oh. It was almost gonna be 4, but I rolled a 1.
No. you can tell that they're definitely not Guru. So he's not lying about that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something he's not divulging.
He not sharing.
Yeah.
He being a little uncomfortable,
Yeah.
which makes sense dealing with Guru history.
Mhm.
If anyone here understands.
Reading the room, though, you can see that he has this very stoic stance about him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he locks eyes with you, like, it is mesmerizing to hear him talk to you. It's like you're the only person in the room when he's talking to you. The woman in the back is constantly darting her eyes around, looking, making sure that she understands where the exits are. She's kind of looking for anything. It's like she's observing 100% 24/7. And the other guy is just kind of sitting there. If Pepe was in the room, he'd be standing on one side of the door with his kind of like just leaning against the frame. This gentleman is sitting on the opposite side, just kind of like taking up the same kind of real estate position and space that Pepe would.
It's interesting. All right, keep your secrets for now. I mean, trust can be developed over time if you end up staying here.
We do have to wait for the madam to arrive. So at least we will be here for the foreseeable future.
Oh, so the circus is coming to town.
It most definitely is, if it hasn't already arrived by our clear antagonization.
Ardyce, I'm assuming is sitting next to Walks with Spirits and just leans over and is like, "Is there a circus?"
It seems so.
Wow. Is this what the wanted poster was about?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, I'm excited for a circus.
You've got the turtle dove all a Twitter, apparently. But it's okay.
I highly
Seems-
recommend it if you've never been to one.
I've never
Then
been to one, and I would love to hear it.
we will have to go then.
Mhm.
Just to make sure that you hear one at least once. I've missed the circus. It's been so long since I've thought about one. But I digress. That is a different life. But it seems that you're hunting for some La Sombra, some shadow thing. And I'm hunting for someone that has extremely dark hair and gets referred to as a shadow on occasion.
Perhaps it would behoove us to put our resources in the same basket.
That is what I was thinking. If they are in fact the same person, then we take care of everything together. If not, then at least one of our problems goes away.
I will say that the Señorita Teresa is not easy to work with, but given her, I will use the word breed, it comes with the territory.
Interesting. You
So
are
I'm
certainly fascinating.
preparing you for that. I think is best.
So we know this individual can change their shape. They're known for doing all sorts of terrible things. And they might be here.
They are most definitely here. I know this for a fact.
Is there
Haven't
any
any what?
signs or
My people are gifted hunters. I haven't sensed her leaving. I have left a gift, you could say, with her from our last encounter.
Hmm.
It has taken Patricia some time to recover as well, but she's almost there. And at that, the girl does kind of stop looking and just kind of dart her eyes in your direction, just nod. But it is creepy and unnerving, unblinking.
Hmm.
She hasn't blinked since she walked into this room.
So it sounds like if combat is taken, aggression sounds like it's troublesome.
Some of us are better equipped than others. And he gestures to the Noisha. Some of us don't even want to get into combat, as it were. So,
Well,
and
not
the,
everyone is.
yeah, the Noisha just kind of smiles. Pacifism. Try it out sometime.
I'm gonna slowly sidle my way up to the Noisha
Okay.
and just allow the conversation.
At the mention of pacifism, definitely you could see Cora's kind of face goes.
Yep.
It doesn't sit right.
We know. We know how your kind deal with pacifists. Many stories.
I don't want to hurt anyone, but if need be, I will. That's the way I've always done it.
The
But
wolves are quick to act.
I completely admit that we can be cocksure and headstrong on occasion. We've made mistakes. We are trying to learn.
Those of you that are making advancements at least. So what does your group have to offer then? Who is what?
Ardyce sits up very straight and folds her hands in her lap to hear what Kora says.
Well, Ardyce here is fantastic. Besides what some people call a detriment, her hearing is impeccable, and she has the strangest habit at being lucky.
Ardyce giggles and thanks Kora very meekly.
The way they would say it in my people is she has luck. And that's not a good or bad thing. It's ways, but she has gotten herself out of many a problem.
I do tend to get into some trouble sometimes.
And we have walks with spirits here.
I talk with spirits as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Spirit talker will be necessary.
And you have myself. I have my own gifts, but I am strong in the physical sense.
Ah. So you have a full moon then is what you are called, yes?
Yes.
The monster within the monsters. Noted.
I do my best to keep it caged. Don't make me unlock it.
He smiles and you see him push his jacket back, and there is no gun on his holster, but there is this almost kukri-like blade that he has holstered there instead, and he puts his hand on the handle. He goes, Wolf, if it came to blows, I assure you, I will take you with me. But it's going to be more painful for you than for me.
That's how I would want to be.
Good. I'm glad we have this
Painful.
understanding.
Bringing all the rage.
And the woman behind him, just puts her hand on his shoulder, says something in Spanish to him. And she points at the window. And you hear, the moment the hand comes up, you hear something fall outside and footsteps start to book. And immediately the Noisha just kind of slides away from the door as he opens it, and he's just like, here we go. And him and her run off.
Guess someone was listening.
Yeah. Would you guys like to join in the chase?
Taking my cue from Kora.
Cora's not going to sit this out. No, this is the fun part.
This is the fun part.
I mean, the way she's probably going to do it is she's probably going to push the window up, look down, and just kind of hop out the window because it's on the first floor. So
Yep. All right. So if everybody could give me, so Cora's gonna just book it. So I'm assuming that's gonna be a strength and athletics roll.
Mm-hmm.
Is Walks gonna try to book it? Is he gonna try to dart out in front? Is he following?
Do I get any kind of signal to let me know if I should just stay with Ardyce or jump out the window with you?
I think whatever happens,
I don't know that she's jumping out the window too.
I think so. Whatever happens, I'm fairly sure Ardyce is not going to jump out the window, and it's going to take her time to go down the stairs and then go out the door. And even if she's late, she's still going to do it in her own way.
But it's definitely one of those things that Kora hops out. She kind of looks, and it's kind of like, "What are y'all doing?"
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. I fully imagine the scene as just like they run out the front door. Cora's like, the window's obviously right there. Opens it and jumps out without saying anything.
Yeah.
They like Walks is like, oh, I'm gonna get a signal from my Arun for sure. Looks, Arun's out the window already.
That's the signal.
That's the signal.
Follow straight out the window.
Where is everyone?
So Ardyce just hears scrambling. 2 sets of boots running out the door. The sound of wood against the wood as the window is forced open. And then the sound of 2 shapes going out the window and thumping into the ground outside. And then just the gentle patting of someone coming up to her and just sitting on the chair next to her and just being like, well, I guess we're the ones that get to stay behind.
She's
He ran out too.
Absolutely startled by this new voice sitting next to her.
Yeah.
She stands up and feels at the window pane and
Yep.
like shouts, "Should I be jumping?"
Down the street, you hear a muffled, should I be jumping?
It's going to be one of those things where she turns and sees Walks with spirits right behind her, and it's like, whose turn is it to walk the watch the galliard?
Turn it in with the menace.
Yeah.
I'll head back.
No, don't head back. Don't head back.
Yeah, the Noisha, you see the Noisha pops his head out.
180.
Yeah, the Noisha pops his head out the window and just kind of like I can watch her if you want to. I don't want to be a part of anything that's happening.
Okay, but if anything happens to her, I'm coming for your left shoes.
Joke's on you, they're not mine. And he puts his head back in the window.
Ardyce stands in the window pane and holds her own hands.
Yeah. And you hear the wood against wood as this new person is closing the window.
I don't need to be watched. I'm so sorry. I did not catch your name.
Oh, no. I don't. Hey, listen. Sit down. Come here. Have a seat. And he very gently just kind of like puts his hands on the kind of biceps of your arms, and just like, he's not pushing, like he's just kind of like nudging to guide you. He's just like, hey, come here. Let's sit by the fire where it's nice and warm, and let's not get involved in anything violent tonight. How about that? How about we do that instead? You want cocoa? I can make you some cocoa.
Is trying not to get upset that she's a little flustered that they left without her.
Yeah.
And
he's like, oh, here, I know what you like. And you hear him rummage, and then you feel something kind of being brought up to your nose. And you can feel like the fingers underneath it as he's kind of holding it at your nose, and he's just like, here, have some of this. I know you people like this. And
she's trying not to back up. But she needs to focus on, like, I did not catch your name. Could you?
He is offering you chocolate.
Oh, that's amazing. Did this come from?
Oh, this comes from my people.
Your people?
Yeah, and you hear the snap of what sounds like a chunk of chocolate, and then you feel him push like a little triangular chunk into your mouth. Like, here, you enjoy. This is good. This is good.
Toblerone.
What? What?
Wild West Toblerone.
What?
Sorry, I heard instead of people, I heard people.
Well, last session she got offered something from somebody's pocket, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Takes the triangle from her mouth.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that she's ever been slightly ticked off. As she states, I'm blind, but if you would tell me, I can open my hand and take it.
Oh, no, it's okay. I can feed you. I have plenty of
I
chocolate
don't
to
want
share.
to be fed. I would rather not be fed. Thank you. I think that this is a lovely gift. But I would rather not.
It's good, right?
Yes, it's very good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Imagine that in some more milk. Just
Please
melting.
don't feed me.
Okay.
So she nods and takes a very deep breath. I'm Ardyce.
Oh, it's good to meet you. You can call me Min.
Min. It's nice to meet you, Min. And she eats the chocolate.
It is rich and
as delicately as possible.
And it has a very bitter aftertaste, though. It's like
this is very similar to the beverages downstairs.
Oh, yeah. It's made with tequila, with the agave.
Oh, good. Yep. I don't know if I like that one yet, but Garrett seems to serve me drinks sometimes that are fairly strong, and this is good. I like it. Thank you, Min.
Good. And he puts another chunk in your hand.
Thank you for placing it in my hand.
Yeah.
And she's trying to eat it a little bit fast, but not like rude fast, because it's chocolate in her hands. So like it's gonna melt.
There's a moment where, as you're chewing on the little chunk of it, you hear a cracking noise.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like there's a kind of nut inside of it.
okay. She just keeps chewing because it would be impolite to spit it now.
But the moment you start crunching the nut in your mouth, it starts to release all of the soaked tequila.
It's all sitting in her mouth, and she has not swallowed yet, and it's a lot. And Ardyce decides to stand up and like murmur, "It's good," but like with a covered mouth. And she's trying to rush to get Garrett so that this guy could stop fucking feeding her tequila chocolate. So, one second. And she's going, and hopefully she can find Garrett before. I don't know. How do I roll to find Garrett before I spit it out?
I think if you were gonna come in contact with anybody outside, it's not gonna be Garrett. It's gonna be Layla.
Okay. Whoever it is, I would like help. I don't know who could see my distress signal of I don't know Min, and he's shoving things in my mouth. I don't like it.
Quarter of the night right there. But as you see Layla at the end of the bar and she sees you in your distressed state.
Don't see her.
That's correct. As you come out and Layla sees you in your distressed state, you hear her calling out to you and coming towards you. And as that's happening, we'll switch over to the chase as Kora and walks.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Let's talk about the chocolate more.
Listen, we're gonna get back to the tequila chocolate. It sounds so delicious, doesn't it?
It sounds so delicious. It's so much better than this fucky wucky that we're going to be dealing with.
So much.
Yeah, whatever.
But as you're chasing the you notice the two of the bounty hunters come rushing out from one of the alleyways and match pace with you. The shape that you're chasing is that of what looks to be a young boy or girl. The hair is tied back in a short ponytail. It is moving ridiculously fast for a human shape. Like it is moving almost at the speed of what a four-legged animal could pick up. Excuse me. And the gentleman, Herman, looks over that he's an agent of the Sombra. I can sense it.
So you want us to go faster?
It would be best. And he motions, and you see the woman just kind of nod and rush off through the alleys to try and cut him off. He looks
How many
over.
people are out?
There's a couple of people hanging out on their porches. You can hear that some people are kind of in the last throes of evening time. It's getting to about midnight. So a lot of the people are kind of winding down already. But as the noise of the running is coming along, like you can see some of the lights are coming on. And Irman looks back at you. He's like, stay out of the Umbra. It's very destructive there.
Walks with spirits. Did you hear that?
I hear, but don't understand.
All right. My intention, storyteller, is once we get past most of the people, I'm going to attempt to shift to. Oh.
Okay.
So we can go faster.
You chase the shape past the church at the north end of town. And at this point, all the people are behind you. And as you are coming up on the forest line, you see what looks to be this massive amount of webbing, kind of like a vertical hammock, a kind of trap, as it were. And you see the woman kind of talking to what looks to be but like a spider, like a wolf spider the size of a human forearm. And as the shape is about to hit the webbing, you see it, for all intents and purposes, just discorporate into black ooze as it shoots past it like string cheese. And then recorporates on the other side, still running.
Well, that's a problem. That's a really big problem. Walks of Spirits, you've got any solutions?
Have I seen anything like this at all, or know anything about this kind of magic fuckery?
Find out.
Okay.
Let's have you roll intelligence and occult.
Okay. That's things I do.
That's a thing you do.
And this is your ballpark.
Magic fuckery. 101.
Right?
Okay, and what's the target?
We'll say difficulty number is going to be 7 for this.
Okay, 2 successes, one's a 10.
Okay. All right. Although you've never encountered it, you have heard of living shadows before. The trickster god, Coyote, has been known to use shadows in such a way. But his use of shadows is always for trickery, for chicanery, and for teaching lessons. This is malicious. This is malevolent. This is evil in its purest form.
How big is the webbing?
It goes from ground to about 8 feet up. And you can see that the gentleman bounty hunter has already pulled his kukris out and he's about to cut his way through.
In my estimation, as Hispo, would this be a jumpable jump?
You could jump it, yeah.
Then what I say to Kora is, jump.
All right. Strength and athletics, then, if you're going to jump over the webbing. And keep in mind that you are in Hispo form, so that does boost your strength. Oh, Hispo gives you +3 to your strength. Hot damn, boys.
Possible I'll end up following her into Hispo.
Yep.
That means basically I have 9 dice for this roll, just so you know. I'm not trying to brag or anything.
Yeah, what a weird flex that is. It's going to be difficulty 5 to jump over the webbing.
Four?
4 easily vaults the little trap.
It would have been 6, but I had 2 1s.
Okay. How many did Walks get?
So I don't know. I did not roll because I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to just juke if I can see it all that there's a path around.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to just juke to the side and follow that way.
Okay.
Because I don't think that I could clear a feat in the same way.
Not a problem.
But
Shooting
that was the
around,
way to get her over.
yeah, shooting around is not gonna require a roll. But you do see the gentleman shoot forward, almost like a missile. And as he's getting to the webs, all you see is a flurry of silver or steel. Rather, I don't wanna frighten you. You are werewolves. But you see the flurry of steel, and the webbing is easily cut. Enough of it to kind of him to not even lose a step in the process. The shadow creature starts swinging like a monkey through using the branches, as you see roots coming up trying to swipe at its feet, and it starts climbing into the foliage where it's going to become harder to see. And as that is happening, we switch back over to Ardyce. Layla comes over. Are you having a good time, lass? It seems like you're in trouble.
Do you have a handkerchief?
Do I have a sinking ship?
Handkerchief?
Oh, handkerchief. Yeah, of course I have a handkerchief. It's not mine, but sure. Here.
Artist takes it and presses it against her face. Tries to hide from Layla the fact that she's absolutely spitting out what looks awful because it's like tequila, nuts, and chocolate, so it looks like absolute garbage. And folds it and holds it in her hands because she has no idea what to do now.
Tequila, nuts, and chocolate. What a Saturday.
What else time? And she's already eaten one, so this is like the second one that she spit out. Thank you. I'm not sure how to handle a situation that's upstairs, that somebody tried to put something in my mouth, Layla. And she says it just to Layla, holding the chocolate in her hand, awkwardly.
It's chocolate with nuts.
You understand that sometimes in this house that things are going to be put into your mouth.
I didn't know that was part of... No, I didn't know that. How was I supposed to know that? Am I just supposed to accept someone's stuff in my mouth?
Well, no. Always get consent, love. There. But also get paid for it if you're going to be putting things in your mouth.
She's absolutely bamboozled. What? I just didn't want to bite... I didn't want a bite of chocolate.
Oh. Talking about chocolate.
Someone tried to feed me this, and then it's wonderful. It tasted amazing, but
I mean, it doesn't look like it anymore, love.
Where can I hide it?
I mean, the trash for all intents and purposes.
Where is it?
Here, I'll take it. And she reaches out and grabs the handkerchief from the side and just kind of closes it.
Thank you, Layla.
Yeah, sure. Garrett, throw this away for me. And you hear a slopping sound. Oh, fuck.
Excuse me? Oh!
Is this... What is this? Is this a child's shit?
She's bright red. As red as fucking Mars. No. That's the only thing that she can think of.
I'm so proud right now. I'm so proud.
But she goes, all right. So let's get you washed up at least. And she goes over into the office and she's like, "You said someone was feeding you?
Mm-hmm.
There's no
one
in here.
What?
The room's empty, love. Who was feeding you?
Men? No.
Like strange men were feeding you?
No. Well, yes. Men.
Yes or no?
Yes. Men was feeding me.
Right.
A singular men.
That's man love. When
No!
it's singular, it's man.
His name was Min. His name was Min, and he was feeding me chocolate, and he said he got it from his people. But I didn't know him. And
You didn't know Min.
Mm-mm.
Him Min.
Mm-mm.
Right.
And to be honest, it was quite frightening to have him just feed me.
Min.
Mm-hmm.
Him.
Mm-hmm.
Feed you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one in the room, love. Are you sure that you weren't hallucinating?
It's just jaw open. I could have just found chocolate and fed it to myself.
I mean, if you found chocolate and fed it to yourself, I would not be surprised that you threw it up. I wouldn't trust any chocolate that I find in here unless I know that I made it.
She's a little defeated and kind of steps back to sit down on some sort of furniture that she finds. There was somebody in here, and he... Layla, I am not making up a man named Min.
All right, sure. I'm just saying, you don't really have the gift of sight, lass. So it's just like you could have overheard something, found the chocolate, and then just put
Layla, it
in
was
your
like
mouth.
this, and Ardyce like puts her fingers to Layla's mouth. It was like this.
All right,
I felt it.
easy. Not on the
Puts her
goods.
hand away.
Not on the goods, love.
Excuse me.
Her breath reeks of tequila.
There's chocolate drool going down her face.
Yeah. And you feel like a handkerchief come up to your face and just kind of like start to wipe your mouth. Hey, look here. Maybe whatever Garrett gave you when you guys came back is starting to hit you. So
Hit me?
you know, when you drink liquor, it has a punch to it.
I believe Garrett gave me a drink. Did he?
I mean, he might have.
Oh. Perhaps you're right.
I mean, I saw a shot glass and a bottle.
Just now?
I mean, no, it was sitting at the bar, and he said that he offered it to you and Pepe.
But I couldn't have made up a new person.
I mean, I trust you, sure.
She's like twirling the ends of her like shirt that go into her dress, and she's trying not to make a bigger scene than she already has, but she wants to prove that there's some fucking guy there. Layla, has anyone left in the last couple of minutes?
Some people were going to leave, but they mentioned having seen a fox outside, a coyote, so they decided to take another drink. You don't usually see coyotes out this far.
You're right. Oh.
One of us knows the other one a Coke, and I don't know how that works.
I was about to say, like...
Brilliant.
I saw that, but I don't think Ardyce did. But anyway. She nods. Layla, is there any... Can I hang around you for the rest of the evening?
Oh, sure, love. Come here. I was just sitting at the bar terrorizing Garrett like I usually do.
Okay. If you wouldn't mind, I'm just gonna sit with you and Garrett and have a drink that's maybe not alcoholic. If
Sure.
possible.
You want some cocoa?
Sure. Actually, never mind. I'll just take the milk. You could leave the cocoa.
Sure. I think you've had enough chocolate for one night, perhaps.
Correct.
All right, come on. And she takes you back to the bar, and we cut back over to the chase. How are Kora and Wax going to handle this shape shifting into the canopies?
I think we might just be upgrading to the war form to climb up.
Ooh.
Because I could see that she jumps over and then she sees that and it's, oh no you don't, rage point, grab onto the tree and start just full on.
All right. So as Walks comes around, the first thing he sees is this giant hippo land, take a few steps forward, and as the forepaws come up into a bipedal form, the war form, the Krynos form, becomes very evident as Kora is home again.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
starts
almost think I should just live here now.
climbing up, following the shadow creature into the canopy.
If I can follow it from the ground,
Mhm.
I'll follow it for a time from the ground before trying to
Yeah.
make my way up.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and Kora, the way Kora's working this is she's trying to hunt it down to where it will come down, and then someone else, can then do a thing,
And you see the gentleman shoot forward, getting a burst of speed, and he grabs a knife from a bandolier, like a regular thin blade, and just launches it. And there's a scream of pain, and the shadow drops down onto the floor again, and you see it start to just hobble with its speed now significantly reduced. Does Kora want to try to land behind it or push in front of it?
I think it's gonna be in front. It's
All right.
definitely that kind of leap and kind of go in for the
Strength and athletics.
Yep.
In your Krynos strength.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be great. What's the difficulty, storyteller?
5.
That's gonna be 8 successes.
Ooh.
With 2 10s.
Okay.
I already said I was right there, in Hispo. I'm like 1 away from getting full 10,
Yep. There
You gotta
is
swing that dick.
There's a moment where you are dead set on chasing this thing, if not down into the ground, at least into a position where you can do some damage. And the dart of metal comes out of nowhere and just impales itself in its lower extremities, and for a moment it looks like there's 4 actual shadow legs, but the moment the knife hits, there's only 2. It's a humanoid creature, and as it falls down, there's this exhilaration, this very primal, very memory, very strong memory of just wolves descending on prey. The one wolf that makes the tackle so that the strong wolf can make the bite comes rushing back to you. You leap forward, you land in front of it, and it is a young girl, maybe 16, maybe 15. She holds up her hands, the shadows start to melt away, and you can see that the knife is embedded in her thigh, the left hand side thigh. And
There,
go ahead.
there was definitely an immediate. It's the thing. She was going in for it. She was right there. She was singing the song of her people.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sees that face, and then it's like a skid back. Kind of.
Yep. And the gentleman comes running up, very much trying to catch his breath. The walks with spirits. Hispo comes padding up. The woman, nowhere to be found. But this young girl kind of holds up her hands and starts just word vomiting in a language you don't understand. But you can smell the fear. And the gentleman comes up behind her, nods as he puts his knives away. Yeah, you caught her. It is as is customary for your people. You are the one that gets the killing blow.
Uh, she's a young woman.
So?
What happened?
Crime is crime. This is an agent of the shadow. She must be made to pay.
But you don't.
Is Kora melting down out of the Krynos form?
She is kind of shrinking now at this point. And it's one of those things. It's definitely the Krynos to Glabro.
Yeah.
But she's so young.
And you see he kicks her in the back and puts his foot on her neck and pulls, using his other foot, he pulls the back of the shirt down. And you see the scarred flesh of the brand that she has. And it's just circles. Circles within circles with snake-like appendages coming out of it. The dancer must be killed, regardless of age. If you don't have the stomach for it, this is fine. I can do it.
No. I can do it. It's my job.
Walk's going to take a good, strong look and sniff at this girl.
Yep.
Like flanking, whatever, exactly, try to opposite of Kora.
Yep.
From her.
Okay.
Just to, if I recognize that symbol, or if I can feel that same kind of strange...
The symbol is definitely recognizable by you, especially given that you have trained with other theurges in the past. That is a tribal brand, normally carved into a awake child's skin, so the pain drives them insane. But this is a black spiral dancer. This is the antithesis of what it means to be Guru.
It's not murder.
I growl that out to Kora.
It's not murder, it's maintenance.
It's not murder, it's maintenance.
And it takes her a moment there before she can come up and, and she's kind of methodical about it. There's more thought to it this time. Where it was instinctual before, it's
And the girl sees you pull your hand into a claw, and she starts to cry. Like she knows what's coming.
And it's definitely one of those things where she kind of comes down there and she pulls the child close, feels the sobs, and in that one moment she kind of looks up at the sky, at the moon, and it's that quick, clean throat slit, neck snap kind of movement. But there's emotion there. She's sitting there for a second. There's a little bit of almost a lullaby that's kind of resonating out of Kora's chest, but
there is the single strand of hair of white light that is just kind of encircled the darkened moon of the Ragabash moon that you are celebrating. Mm-hmm. Luna is barely looking down on the situation, and there is a moment where this could have been your sister, and it hurts to have to do the right thing. But you hear and feel that opposition as the neck is not supposed to turn that far.
Mm-hmm.
And that popping noise of the vertebrae coming loose just echoes in your ears. The body slumps in your arms. And the gentleman nods. Good. No taint goes unpunished.
There's definitely, she's trying her best to contain her emotions, but she's in a ruin.
Yeah.
All she is emotion.
Yeah.
And so there's this moment where she's just holding this corpse, this broken corpse that she broke, with all these feelings of regret, a wish, a want of that this person didn't have to be this way. It really didn't have to be this way. And there's tears and and there's just that momentary howl, loud and deep. Not the same way a Galliard would, because they're more lyrical. This is just pure raw emotion and sadness and anger. And there's also some semblance of I did what was right.
Yeah. And there is a moment where the music dies down as the piano player is pulling up a new piece to play for the gathered group at the Gilded Apple, and the very vestiges of this howl can be heard by Ardyce. The pain, the sorrow, the anger. There's no formality to it. It is pure emotion. And you know immediately that this is Kora. But the gentleman gives you a moment. When you are done, please lay her on the floor that I might dispose of the body as Gaia intends.
You're on mute.
Yeah, you're muted.
And
Beautiful it was.
And she very gently lays this broken, barely a woman down. And she does pay the body a certain amount of respect. Because it's done. That's...
And he looks at you, he looks at Walks of Spirits. What I do now, I do because this is been demanded of me by our creator. I would appreciate if you did not tell anyone else what you are about to see. And
I'm gonna signal for just one moment. In this heart-wrenching scene,
Hmm.
I've made my way back to Hamid,
okay.
and I just want to inspect the brand closely for a moment before he gets to do
Yeah.
one
It-
moment.
It
And
looks like it was carved in with a claw. It does not look like it has healed. So she hasn't even gone through her first change. This is just probably a kinfolk that has been given some kind of tainted ability.
let me see then. What is it that you are going to do to her? Because I have the ability to cleanse the taint.
I was going to destroy the body. Cleansed or
Do
no.
I know if that like for a dead body, is that just the similar effect?
Given that Guru believe in reincarnation and the wheel, the death of the body is just a way of putting her back in the great cosmic wheel. There are some people who think if you are if you're destroyed while you are tainted or carrying a bane spirit influence, that you are punished for it and your merry-go-round is prolonged. But it all depends on how do you think Walks would have been brought up to feel about the circle?
You don't carry. There ain't no karma.
Hmm.
That sticks with the body, and if the body's destroyed, then that's sufficient.
So let that.
Yeah. Proceed.
And he circles the body once, and as he does, you see his hand, his arm, both his arms start to elongate. They start to turn a sickly yellow and then green, and you can see the flesh and hair start to shift into this scale. The fingers shift and almost fuse together to create this kind of three-clawed hand, and the back pops and elongates into this almost hood of a cobra, and his legs fuse together into a tail. This is a Naga, Gaia's assassins. And as he finishes his third circle, he vomits up his stomach so that it covers the body. And you can smell the sizzle and the burning of the flesh. And as he starts to kind of gather it back up with his claws and shove it into his mouth, there is nothing left of this young girl. He vomits a bit of actual liquid, maybe a small bucket's worth of liquid, and then he starts to shift back. We have done a good thing. You will sleep well today. And he cracks his neck. Let's go back. I will buy the first round. And he dusts himself off, and he starts to make his way back to town.
Where is your friend?
He looks around. You can come out. It's safe. And from a collection of bushes, you see the young girl kind of pulling leaves and such out, stepping up and coming up to her full height.
Let's go back. As Kora shifts back to human.
You come back, and you can see that Ardyce is at the end of the bar with Layla and Garrett. It looks like they're playing cards, but Ardyce is just has the hand of cards with a couple of backs facing her and a couple of numbers facing them. It's a mishmash, but they're letting her play with them.
The moment that Ardyce can sense that Kora's in back at, she kind of gets up and doesn't say anything, but goes over to Kora and then embraces her. And she's been thinking about that since she heard the sound and she knew it was her.
Okay.
So she just kind of silently and non-verbally comforts her.
Okay.
And Kora hugs her back. There was a little bit of a shock. And then there's just a very, very big hug.
In the hug, she whispers, "Someone stuck something in my mouth and I did not like it."
Who? And it's like that moment of she's very sweet for a second, and then it just suddenly goes to rage, to anger. What?
Straight back to Krinos.
We're trying not to, but what?
Yeah, and you see Layla kind of, she talked about it for a bit, talking about some man named Min.
And Ardyce squares off with Kora and holds Kora's shoulders. How many people came in with that man?
2.
2 additional people, 3 in total, correct?
Yes.
And how many people left with you?
2.
And she whips her head back to where Layla was. See her.
You were safe with Coyote.
Coyote?
Nuisha.
And she's
Remember, we met him before.
Where did he leave to? And why did he put things in my mouth?
What did he put in your mouth?
He is a trickster.
Chocolate.
Okay.
I told her if she was going to get things put in her mouth, that she should at least get paid for it.
I don't understand what that
Exactly.
even means.
That's good sense.
What does that
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Anything goes in your mouth, money better be put in your hand.
And this is where she hugs Ardyce back. And there's just a very quiet whispered conversation about what fellatio is.
Oh, there's not. There's you could start saying it and immediately Ardyce almost faints as you're describing what's happening.
Makes sense.
Almost completely.
And this is what Layla was talking about. If you're gonna get things put in your mouth, you better get paid for it.
Garrett, can I have whiskey?
Yeah, of course. You want that in a shot glass, or you want like a big boy?
I don't know.
All right.
And she just meanders to a stool.
I love the idea of Kora coming behind with Garrett, and it's like a double glass, and she pours that. And if straws exist at this point in time, I feel like she's put a straw in it for Ardyce to make it
Yep.
easier for her to sip.
And Layla, just as the shot is put in front of you, and they kind of let you hold the glass, so you know where the straw is. You hear you can feel Layla just leaning, and she's like, "Hey, remember, you're not getting paid to put this in your mouth."
She takes this
But
whatever straw or
down
like
the hatch
sippy
it
thing.
goes.
Yep, she just silently takes it and then sits there and just
Opa! Opa!
wonders about life.
Yeah. And there's a big hooray from the people in the group. As you can't see it, but everybody else sees Layla kind of like motion for the huzzah. And then the gentleman comes in and goes, "I would like to buy a round for my 3 new friends that we have put a big dent into the trouble that I think is coming to this city." And Garrett just goes, "Yeah, sure. I'll put down 3." He goes, "No, please, for you and for this marvelous young lady." And he points to Layla. He goes, "All right, 5 shots all around, sure." And he serves the 3 of you. So he serves Ardyce another shot. He serves Kora, walks Layla himself, and then him and the girl. And he holds up the shot glass.
Layla, what's that old saying that you talked about once? May you not walk in interesting times for other people?
Oh,
Or
that
something
I
like
thought you
that?
meant never put it in your ass if you're gonna take it in the mouth again.
Yes, no ass to mouth!
No ass to mouth.
Artist has no idea how to whether to toast or not, so she just sips it.
Yeah.
Kora's kind of just helping.
Yeah. The 2 new people don't understand the toast either, so there's like a little hesitation, but then they're like, I mean, I paid for this, so so they take it.
Of course, Artist is going to sit in stunned silence for the next until the whiskey hits.
Yep. At that point, Kora is basically pulling out ouzo,
Oof.
a bottle of ouzo for herself.
But as the shots go down, the gentleman kind of nods at your group. He recognizes that you're in mixed company, and he says, "There was good work done tonight. You've helped to hinder, the agents of the shadow, but if the agent is willing to use dancers as they are, you might have to be prepared to take on older dancers, ones that have gone through the ordeal."
We need more. We need more power. We have to become stronger. Walks with spirits. There's a favor I need to ask of you.
Anything?
And she kind of leans down. And I mean, she's probably drank half of a bottle of ouzo at this point. You know, when she finally settles down to this.
I've been sliding mine back over to you, so you've had even more.
I need you to locate me a particular spirit.
Okay.
I need you to locate me a Pegasus.
Ooh.
What is
Ooh.
this?
I need to ask for guidance and help. And it's not going to be easy.
Well, we can begin tomorrow.
You
Clear heads.
you know what I am, right? Yes?
My Arun.
But my heritage.
From the east.
And this is where she gives him the gentlest of embraces, the gentlest of hugs. Before it's definitely a sudden, hard, quick, vice-like grip.
Okay.
I'm descended of the Amazons of old. I come from Greece. I protect women. I hurt men who would hurt women.
Mm.
I am the Fury. And that's where she kind of lets him go.
And you feel you've transgressed.
Yes, but I need gifts from my people. And the only spirit that can give gifts for my people is Pegasus.
Then we will find Pegasus.
The bounty hunters take one last drink with you, and they excuse themselves. Shall we come back tomorrow in the evening, or would you like to do some daytime reconnaissance? The last message we received from Señorita Ramos is that she is coming. She should be arriving. Should be more careful with my language in this house. By Monday.
Mm.
And Layla gives him a big smirk when he says that. So until then, we are pretty much here to scout out. I believe our Coyote friend has already done enough damage, so we will try to keep him at a distance moving forward.
Just don't let him shove things into other people's mouths without consent.
Gives like a fist up because she's already gone.
She's already 3 sheets in.
she's already in. She's like,
I will make sure that gifts are gift wrapped and placed in hands moving forward.
Yes, I would appreciate that.
Again,
But yes,
good work, Wolf. And him and her walk out. Layla leans in. People keep referring and using the wolf terminology around you. I don't think you're a big bad monster at all.
I'm
Are you blowing
not.
down houses?
No, but I do have a taste for pork.
Oh, this is true. So we keep grabbing her around, isn't it? And she laughs. And he just kind of looks at us like, hey, what? Is that a jab?
No, we were just talking about your kickstand. Your saddle buster.
My butt?
No.
Oh, all right.
Your front butt.
And you see him blush. He slams the towel on the bar. He's just like, can we have a 5 minutes of no sexual innuendo?
You're in this fine establishment, the Gilded Apple, a brothel. With all
Ardyce's like face is leaning on her arm, and she's almost fully asleep at the bar.
All right.
A den of sin and iniquity, Garrett. You might want to get used to it.
Right. Well, somebody help her get used to her bed. She looks like she's about to honk out.
I'll take her up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Where's the little guy that's usually looking after her?
Yeah, I wonder where Pepe has been.
Before she's fully unconscious, Ardyce whispers, I miss Pepe.
You'll see, Pip.
He'll be back.
Yeah.
He needs the bed and he needs the bath.
Yeah. And if you walk by the room that he's in, the door is ajar, but his stuff is gone.
No, it's a door. What's wrong with you, ST?
Oh, shit, that's right. Yeah. The door is a door that's slightly open. But inside the room, all his stuff is gone.
He'll be back. He can't go away too long. Otherwise, we're going to have to hunt him out. You don't leave a pack.
Especially not a Fury's pack. But as everyone is turning in for the night, and one good deed has gone unpunished? I mean, someone was punished.
Someone was punished.
So
Kora's drinking herself down into a tizzy before she passes out. So
yeah.
Oh, I try to get myself back down to Kora though.
Okay. Yeah.
Because...
I think this is a good evening for the two of you to kind of find where your pages start to come together as far as the pack is concerned. Because this was a heavy event, I think, for Kora. Because you did do the right thing.
But it wasn't easy, and it was the worst right thing possible in Kora's brain.
But you also learned that whoever you're up against is definitely not above using children that have not gone through their first change. And black spirals to boot. So, with that, though, I would like to thank all of you for coming back to the game. I am infatuated with what's happening and with the characters at the table. Every time that I think I know what's going to happen, I am pleasantly surprised. I'd like to thank the audience for joining us as well. We couldn't be here without you guys. As always, I would like to touch on health and mental health because I think mental health is often held behind a taboo or stigmatized topic, and I think people need to hear that it is okay to not be okay. And if you need help and you're watching live, there are phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat, so you can find the resources and get the help that you need. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the description box, but they are available. There's also a link going up in case you're not in the United States, so you can find the help that you need in the areas that you're living in, or at least close by. As always, you can catch us here on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Mondays is our Vampire the Masquerade dual storyline. One day it is a Camarilla storyline. One day it is a Anarch storyline. Tuesdays revolve around Werewolf of the Wild West, or alternating with Legend of the Five Rings. And Thursdays were for Dungeons and Dragons and for 7th Sea, but given the fuckanery that is happening over at WotC, I am unfortunately going to have to bury the Dungeons and Dragons game and find something else to use in its stead. But something is coming, and it will be fun, hopefully. And it will be chock full of adventure. So don't be afraid. Thursdays will have pirates, at least, with 7th Sea. So there's that. It's a fantastic system, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. But if not, you can catch us here next Tuesday for our L5R stand-in, as we give these guys a break for a week. And as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you. When we see you, please have a good night or rest of your day. Bye.